Hi, I'm Plummy. Hi, I'm Plummy. And in this episode of Radio K, I'm gonna be reacting to the, at this point, month-long comeback of TXT called 0 by 1 equals Love Song, featuring Siori, otherwise the song known as I Know I Love You. And yeah, I don't know what to expect with this. TXT have been such a weird group for me because their music has a lot of things that I don't like. Their music has aspects that I don't like when those aspects are applied to other groups' as music. Like for example, with BTS's music, I don't like the autotune when it's used in BTS, but for TXT, I honestly don't really mind it that much. So I've not really ever decided on an opinion on where I stand with TXT. I actually enjoy a lot of their music. It's really good and very enjoyable and very interesting. But again, those aspects like the overly used autotune really bother me. But still, I don't know. I'm pretty excited to check this song out because their last few songs have been great, except that one song, now that I remembered, which really reminded me of Dynamite, and I think that was their last comeback in late 2020 that they did, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't even remember the name of the song, honestly. It was that bad, in my opinion. For me, personally, it was that bad. Not really objectively. It probably wasn't objectively, but I just didn't really like it. But I did like Can't You See Me and Runaway, and also their debut song was really good as well, so they have a lot of good songs, but I don't know where this one's going to stand, so without further ado, let's get into it and find out in 3, 2, 1. I can't read Korean, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Okay, there's already quite a few things I want to say about this. First thing I like, very little altitude. Good. I can actually tell their vocals apart now. I really like the looks in this music video, especially whoever is the guy is with long hair. Is that Hyunkai? I can't tell. I really like his hair though. They look really good in this. And yeah, what I wanted to say in the beginning was that when TXT debuted, I thought that they were going to be very stereotypical, or at least it seemed like they were going to be very stereotypical boy next door kind of boy group, but they're actually following BTS's footsteps very well, honestly. And they're still very much their own thing, but they do give me that BTS vibe that I miss from BTS nowadays. Especially in this comeback. Like, if BTS released this song, I would have been perfectly fine. This song has energy, it has soul. And I love it. I don't want to focus too much on comparison to BTS, so I'm not gonna say anything more in that regard, but I really like this. No, the guy with the long hair is not Hyunkai. Hyunkai is the blonde guy. So who's the guy with long hair? Guys, what the hell are you doing? I gotta learn their names, honestly, at this point. I only really have noticed Hyunenka and Bongyo. I love this in so many ways, and there's again so much I want to talk about. So what was the feature in this song? I don't know who Seori is, but with a name like that, I assume it's a female? Because there was parts of the song in which I could vaguely hear a female vocal, so that means that this collaboration with that artist seems to be very much in the vein of BTS and Halsey, where Halsey was just kinda there for the chorus a little bit, I guess. But that's fine. The thing I want to ask you guys, and I hate that I keep comparing TXT to BTS, but I mean, come on, how can I not to? How can I not do that? But does anyone else get that spark? Like, does anyone else get this feeling that we used to feel when BTS released music in the most beautiful moments in life era? Does anybody else feel the similarity with this music video and BTS's music videos from that era? Like, I cannot be the only one who feels a similarity to it. And I'm saying just a similarity, and I mean it in a good way. I'm not saying that TXT don't have their own identity or that they're copying BTS or anything. I'm debuted, I felt like Big Hit for some stupid reason was deciding to go into a more typical K-pop direction with them compared to BTS's more unconventional style of music, but funnily enough, now these things seems to have switched with BTS being very generic and typical, and TXT being very experimental and unique and standout, because I don't really think there's a song like this in K-pop right now. Like, even groups that I love, like Stray Kids and 80s, I feel like they don't do something like this. Because I think this song, and I'm gonna confirm that more whenever I get to the second reaction, but I think there's actually a very prominent kind of like a guitar, or just, I don't know, guitar sounding sound in instrumental that I really like. And I've talked about before many times how K-pop songs for some reason really ignore using guitar instrumentals. There's very few groups that really use it, and that they use it to the fullest extent. So I'm glad if there is a guitar in this song that is very prominent, because it feels like there is. I'm glad that TXT is using it, but yeah, I'm gonna talk about it more after the second reaction. I just want to listen to it again and just enjoy it again and get the feeling of that spark again. So without further ado, let's get into it again in 3, 2, 1. Also, they've matured so much. Yeah, there is a guitar, definitely. Also, this is such a shift in their music as well. I really like how mature they seem in this. Because especially with their last comeback, it was very kitty and cutesy. This seems so much more mature and deep and edgy, and I love it. And as I said for the autotune, I love how there is no autotune and I'm actually able to hear their vocals. And their vocals sound mature and powerful. And I also really like how they're actually using microphones to sing. That's really cool. This is my favorite music video by them, I think. I'm really curious to see other people's opinion on this, because I really love this. This is what I've been missing from BTS. And honestly, there's nobody else more fitting than TXT to follow in the footsteps of BTS. Yeah, you can definitely hear the female vocals in the chorus here. I honestly can't express how much I love this. Oh my god, those vocals are so good. So, Big Hit is fully fucking capable of doing good music like this. That is not autotuned to death. So why are they not doing this more? Why did they screw with the vocals and the rapping of TXT and Hypen and BTS for so long if they were always able to do this? Because I thought they were unable to do this kind of quality music anymore. But they clearly are able. And I'm so happy about that. With this release, TXT have become, I mean, dare I say top 3 boy group for me? I mean, I don't know. I like many boy groups, but I feel like for me right now, Stray Kids, 80s, and TXT are probably the top 3 because they offer such distinct, high quality music. Also, their outfits in this music video are really good. They're definitely my style. Like, this song was freaking made for me, and I love it. This might be #1 song of the year for me, honestly. It's genuinely a very solid contender for that. I'm telling you that right now. I'm already so in love with this song because it has such a depth. I have an emotional connection to this song already. And I feel like the more I listen to it, it's only gonna get better. So this is a very, very solid contender for #1 song of the year. A very solid contender. which I never thought that TXT would be the one to get the #1 spot. Because they have been in top 10, definitely for me, but never a top 5, I think. And I never thought they would be #1, but they are definitely, right now, probably the most likely contender. But yeah, damn. I mean, I don't even know what else to say about this. I love it. I love it. It's everything I've been missing from BTS. Debatably since 2017, but for sure since 20 freaking 20, I guess you could say, since they released On, because On was like this, I guess, kind of edgy and darker, but it was still also super autotuned, so even though I like the aesthetic of it, I still wish there was a version of that song without the autotune, because that would definitely be the superior version. But yeah, this is definitely what I've been missing since 2019 BTS, let's say, since they released Idol. And yeah, I know some of you might be annoyed by my complaining about BTS in comparison with TXT and everything, and I'm sorry about that, but like, whenever I'm reacting to a group that has connection to Big Hit and BTS, I just cannot not bring them up. It's just impossible to compare them, especially when TXT is releasing better music. Like, come on. I don't know. I've just been, at this point, tired of the things people say to defend BTS's terrible quality of music recently. And they completely ignore that TXT has a lot of the same aspects of the music that BTS releases, but they are doing it better. I don't know, but like, ultimately, what I want to say about this, I really like it. I really like what it reminds me of. It has that spark that I've been missing. I really love it. It's the best, it's potentially the best song of the year for me. And rating wise, I'm honestly gonna give it a 20 out of 10. I love it. I'll listen the shit out of this song. I really like it. And I'm really curious to read your guys' opinion on this song. What do you guys think? Do you feel that spark that I'm feeling? Do you get reminded of those times with BTS from the Most Beautiful Moments in Life era? Because I surely am. And I'm really curious to see what other people's opinions are on this song. So make sure to comment it down below. And also, I'm very likely to react to the B-sides of this album because I like the title track so much very soon. But if you want to make that happen sooner, definitely make sure to comment it down below so I know that there is a demand to react to the album. Or maybe even potentially go over to my Patreon and subscribe to the tier, which I've created specifically for K-pop reaction requests. And there you get like 4 requests per month, which means that essentially 1 week you can request me to react to an album, the next week you can request me to react to another album or some music video or whatever. And you can still do that in the comments down below. Feel free to comment it. But the main difference between commenting and going to Patreon is that if you go to Patreon, it's a certain thing. Once you request me to do something and you have subscribed to that tier, I will do it. As soon as I sit to record K-pop reactions, that's gonna be my priority to do. While with the commenting in the comments, it's ultimately gonna be up to me and up to whenever I feel like doing whatever your request is, but I'll still probably try to do it, but I can't promise anything in that regard. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do. But again, at least for this case, I just want to tell you, I'll probably react to it relatively soon. At least in the next month or so. No longer than a month from now. Because I really like this song. And yeah, before we end this video, I also want to give a huge thanks to my first ever patron on Patreon, Omari Bridgman. As I said, if you want to join that person, you can do that by clicking on the link in the description that will lead you to my Patreon, and you can subscribe to any of the tiers. Even if you don't want to request me K-pop reactions, there's a tier for just general support, which would be very much appreciated because these K-pop reactions don't really make me any money for 2 reasons. Because I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet, which I would be really glad if you could help me out by sharing this video. Um, and also because they just get claimed, so the companies who own the groups and the music and everything make money off these videos instead. So if you want to support me for the K-pop reactions, you can just subscribe at the lowest tier on my Patreon. That will be just fine. But before we end this video, I just want to quickly explain to you something that you might be wondering about, like, why am I dressed the way I am? Why do I look the way I do? And if you've been subscribed to my channel for a long time, you would know the answer already, because back when I started my YouTube channel, I had super long hair and I was dressing femininely in every single video. But for those of you who don't know, which I assume it's most of you, I'm actually transgender. I think I'm more of a non-binary rather than a male to female, because there are quite a few times where I don't really feel like dressing femininely and looking feminine and looking like a girl, and I just want to look like a normal guy. But I feel like in a lot of the time I do want to look feminine. So for the sake of simplicity, I decided to just settle on non-binary, although I definitely really want to be much more feminine than I am right now, like almost like androgynous. But due to my current situation, I'm unable to transition because I still live with my parents. I tried to transition secretly while still living with my parents, but they started noticing that I was looking more feminine and that I obviously had my long hair back then, and they were pressuring me to cut it all the time. And even when I was growing it out, they were constantly pressuring me to not grow it out, and now they are pressuring me to not grow it out again. I'm really unable to transition, and there's no really way out of this situation for me because I can't get a job. I've tried to, but I just can't seem to get any job. And even if I was able to get a job, I wouldn't really be able to transition in my country where I live while working that job, because people here are completely bigoted, and they will harass me, they will bully me, and they probably the employers will probably never even hire me if I actually decided to completely transition. So the only way for me to actually be who I am, who I truly am, is if I actually start being successful with YouTube and start making money off of YouTube, because I don't really have to care about what anybody thinks of me, and I can just be who I want to be and dress however I want and all those stuff. So with all this information and me telling you that I don't want to guilt trip you into helping me out, I don't want to make you feel bad about my situation and wanting to manipulate you into helping me out or boosting the subscribers on my channel or anything like that, I ask you if you're able to help me out by donating to my Patreon or donating to my PayPal, which is for that you will have to get in touch with me in the comments down below to set it up properly, because I haven't really done that, because I assume nobody's really gonna want to do that. But if you're able to do that, I would really appreciate it. But again, this is literally the only way for me out. This is the only way out. So yeah, it's completely up to you. If you can't help me out monetarily, then at the very least I think it would be great if you could help out in other ways, like I said earlier, liking the channel, liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and all those other stuff. But yeah, I'm not trying to guilt trip you, I'm just explaining to you my situation and hoping that you can help me out. But yeah, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you don't enjoy my stories, or you simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to Patreon where you can pledge your support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!